So this is an interesting tradition. A year ago had the idea to take my two oldest kids, Lucky and Duke, skiing. They love skiing. Hopefully become kind of a cool tradition and one that may even persist when they're adults. Look at the roof of that cabin to get an idea of how much snow is here. Oh my gosh, dude, that is crazy. For snow at a ski resort, 1,000 inches one year, back in like 1998 or 9 or something like that. And its average is 600 inches a year. Just look at those cliffs. Those are so crazy. Oh, nice. Okay, don't peel the moss off. Should we go find a hot tub to get in?
Yeah.
After skiing tradition. Okay, Duke, second annual Nelson Powder Chase. Where are we?
Mount Baker, Washington State.
And what do you think of Mount Baker?
Really weird terrain.
It's fun. So this is an interesting tradition. A year ago had the idea to take my two oldest kids, Lucky and Duke, skiing. They love skiing. Hopefully become kind of a cool tradition and one that may even persist when they're adults. I was just telling Tiffany on the phone, we were chatting, and we're just up here in this little condo. There's no cell phone service at the base of this Mount Baker, a place in Washington State that I would never come to. And I was just reflecting on the idea that I would have never come here, especially not in the dead of winter. Look how cool how they built this cabin, Duke. It's just really neat.
Yeah.
It's like real timbers. Yeah, just the drive here. I mean, an hour through the quaintest farmland, beautiful, lush, green acreage. And then the drive up through the canyons, these mossy evergreens. And the evergreens here are so tall. It does look like a moss monster. Check out this path through the woods, dude. Ferns. You'll never see ferns where we come from. Moss everywhere. 15 minutes. We're 15 minutes out. There's no snow. And then the snow starts appearing, and then it climbs and climbs, and it's like 10 feet of snow. And I mean, it never gets that deep in Utah. And Utah's got the greatest snow on earth. And therein lies the rub. This resort has more snow than I've ever seen in my life. I can't even believe the amounts of snowfall this place gets. Apparently it has the world record for snow at a ski resort, 1,000 inches one year, back in like 1998 or 9 or something like that. And its average is 600 inches a year. Duke is about to bomb this steep face. And then we'll go do those trees. Maybe a little drop off. What do you think?
Yeah.
There's Mount Baker ski area. And then there's Mount Baker. And just crazy amounts of snow where whole pine trees are just buried underneath the snow. And the resort has all of these cliffs, but even the cliffs are buried. So the cliffs just become these giant sort of snow mounds that people can drop into or drop between. I mean, really tough terrain, very steep in sections, very uneven up and down. I mean, not flowy like the resorts in Utah. And the biggest difference is the snow. So they say that Utah's got the greatest snow on earth. And so far, in my short experience, that's true. The powder here was deep, chopped up by the time we made it, onto the hill. I had a few phone calls this morning I was taking on my way in, interviewing members for our board of directors at LOVESAC on the phone as I'm driving my kid. And this is the thing, these things are never convenient. These traditions are never convenient. You just got to play along the way, as I've always said, or you just get old. The years pass by and you think of doing these things. You just have to get off the couch and do them. Do them now. Do them while your kids are 10 or 11 or 12, because you blink and a few more years go by and then they're not even around anymore, right? The snow is heavy and wet and deep, but it doesn't carve the same as like the light, fluffy powder we get in Utah. And so it's a different experience. But that's the cool part, is that it is different, is that it's something I'm not used to. It's out of our comfort zone. Everything, we don't know the runs. We don't know where the cliffs are. There's all these crazy signs. We don't know, if you drop into a cat track, if it's going to lead you back to the bottom or you're going to be walking on flat or something. I mean, you just don't know a resort. But I hope that there's so many things for my kids to learn from this. They learn how to operate outside of their comfort zone. They learn that they can do anything. Duke learned today that he can drop in on a black diamond or double black cliff area, and it doesn't mean he has to drop down the cliff. There's other ways around, You learn to develop self-confidence. You learn to play it as it lies, as I say. Take it as it comes. You've got to deal with it. You've got to find a way, the best way down or whatever, in a place that you're just totally unfamiliar with. You have no idea where these places lead, and you're not, you've never skied it before. I just think there's tons of lessons in that. See the natural world that Washington State represents. We're up here by the Canadian border, way up north. It's really interesting terrain. There isn't an ounce of dirt on the ground because it's all covered in moss and ferns. And we took a walk after we checked into the condo tonight, just along a river, and just to experience being in wilderness that's completely foreign to what we live in, especially in southern Utah. It's like a desert. There is like no speck of dirt without something growing on it, just naturally. That is crazy. This is the craziest territory. Now you realize we live in a desert. I just believe in, as best I can, giving my kids experiences that take them out of their comfort zone, that develop them in some way. It's more than just like a tourist thing. Okay, Dad, yeah, look out the window, but they have an experience, and it can be short. So in this case, 1.5 days of skiing back to work. And by the way, I'm working all the way through. I was taking calls all the way up. I'll be on calls early in the morning tomorrow because I'm on Pacific time and the company operates on East Coast time. Get half a day of work in, and then hit the slopes with Duke, and then be back on calls at the end. And you work in the seams and cracks. It's another Shawnism I live by. And you find a way to live your life and play along the way, but still get a ton done. And that's been the recipe that's worked for me as an entrepreneur, and helped me have balance with my kids, and helped me have balance with my family. I've always played along the way, and even though I have more resource now than I did a few years ago to do some of these things, I've always kind of lived this way, on a budget, getting by, but finding ways to just play along the way and work in the seams and cracks and spend time with my kids as best I can. And I'm probably not, father of the year or anything, but I do try to invest time in them, with them. I have a hard time just hanging out. It's just not in me. That's why, Duke loves video games. Tries to get me to play with him. I've never been a video gamer. I'm just not like a hanger-outer.
I'm good at some things, but video games ain't one of them. Duke, on the other hand, is a stone cold pro. He's gonna teach me how to play. What?
Yeah?
Super
Smash
Smash
Bros?
Brothers on our big screen. Will we be battling each other, or?
No, but we're close to each other. So if you win your battle and I win mine, then we might be battling each other.
Taking advantage of this awesome terrain. But the funny thing is, nothing makes me happier than watching Duke ski these runs. I mean, even though I'm not skiing my fastest or hardest, and I'm waiting for him and coaching him and trying to, you know, if he'll listen to me, try and give him pointers on skiing, it's still so satisfying for me compared to just like a guy's trip, and you know, we could be up here having a great time, skiing harder, you know, staying out late, whatever. But for me, this is the happiest way to ski with my kids in strange places. And so my tradition is every year, I'm gonna try to push myself to just do one quick trip. It has to be spur of the moment. It has to be based on an actual storm, unplanned. Could happen early in the season, late in the season, but whenever there's a big storm in some place that we've never been. This time it was Seattle, of all places, up near the Canadian border. Time before it was Idaho, and our flight got diverted, and I had to rent a car and drive, 150 miles to make it to the resort. We'll see where we go next year, but could be a fun tradition, and I hope I can do it with all my kids.
Well, Duke, it looks like this is our last run.
I think so.
What did you think of Mount Baker in the end?
Awesome. Like, from the end, I just felt it was awesome, like pretty landscape and stuff.
What do you think about our annual powder chase tradition?
I love it.
What do you love about it?
You get to see new mountains and new ski runs that you've never been on before.
You know why I love it, dude? Because I get to hang out with you. That's why. Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was like a sharp, narrow rut. And I didn't see that last cave coming. So I crashed through my way through the cave and I hurt myself.
That was nuts, man.
Why is it not cold? We're at Mount Baker. It's so hot.
Oh my gosh, it's so warm today. Let's come back to the car to shed some gear.